attorney M. Austin Jackson, the Augusta Guy, for legal insights every Monday and Tuesday afternoon. Don't miss the Legal Minute, brought to you by M. Austin Jackson, attorney at law.
Get clear, accurate stories that don't waste your time at WJBF.com. Westside High School boys basketball, state champions for the third straight year. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day with just a little breezy conditions this afternoon. I'll have all the details on what you can expect for your Sunday forecast and beyond, all coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, off to the races. The annual Aiken Steeplechase is back, and we'll take you to the festivities. Plus, new development headed to North Augusta. How city leaders are working on parking. And later, how one city is making the outdoors accessible to everyone. Your number one source for local weekend morning news starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, good morning, sunshine. Thanks for joining us. It's great to be with you. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. Coverage you can count on begins in Aiken, where the steeplechase returns Saturday is one of the signs of spring in our area. News Channel 6's Isabella Moody was there for the opening ceremonies.
Opening ceremonies had the Aiken County Pony Club and a parade of hounds. The carriage parade was canceled due to weather, but patrons were thankful it held up for the races.
I went to the Kentucky Derby in 2015 when America Pharoah won, and I just love that experience. And I've been trying to come here for a few years. A few times it rained. So I'm so happy to be here today to celebrate this. The weather seems to be holding up for us.
There was something for everyone Saturday. Horse racing, a crazy hat and pant contest, tailgating, and a marketplace to buy souvenirs.
Well, my husband and I have been coming here for the last probably 5+ years. My husband's been here more years than I have. It's just a great tradition with some friends, people that he works with. It's a great way to just hang out with people that you don't see every day, and it's just a fun event locally.
Some of the patrons who were here for their first horse race were happy there was one close by.
Well, we're just kind of here to let Hannah experience the horse race. She wants to be a jockey when she's older, so she gets to actually experience it a little bit.
This event has become tradition in many families and friends' lives, and something they look forward to every year.
I'm saying probably at least, I looked up, I had a memory come up on Facebook 10 years ago with my kids here, so at least 15 years, at least. If you never came here, you're missing out on a good time. You get to see a lot of people. A lot of people dress up like they don't usually dress up.
I love the beginning, even before the races, just kind of hanging out with everybody, walking around, seeing everybody's spots, seeing everybody, how they're dressed. It's fun to see this here locally.
The Aiken Steeplechase is a non-profit who hosts the events to be able to keep the tradition of horse racing and giving back to the community. In Aiken, Isabella Moody, WJBF News Channel 6.
New development could be coming to North Augusta's Riverside Village. The city is working with Developer Day. The Wagner Fire Department will host a special public meeting to discuss how they will use $1.6 million in capital project sales tax funds. Everyone, even if you live outside the town but help with those fire fees, should come by the meeting to share your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. That meeting starts at 3. The Spartanburg coroner wants to start a program that teaches teens how to drive responsibly. Rusty Clevenger says his office has applied for a $150,000 grant. The money, he says, will go to buy a go-kart-like vehicle which simulates how a person's response time is slowed when driving under the influence or distracted. The coroner says he wants to take that golf cart to high schools to give teens hands-on experience.
So when they are sober and they're driving a course, they go to apply the brakes, but the brakes don't work until another maybe 2 seconds. That's how long it is while you're under the influence.
And the funding will also be used to hire a part-time instructor who will take that go-kart to schools. He hopes to start the program as soon as possible if the grant is approved. Tonight, the U.S. Air Force Band of the West takes center stage at East Georgia State College in Swainsboro. That event starts at 3 in the Gambrell Building Auditorium. The performance will feature concert band classics, colorful storytelling, as well as a debut concert and performance. It's free, open to the public, but you need a ticket. You can get those at ega.edu/vision-series. On Tuesday, Wagner voters will head to the polls. Meteorologist Sherry Sheely joins us now for a quick check of the forecast. I had to hold on to my hat today because it was windy.
Yes, yesterday was very windy, and those winds are going to continue for most of the day today. Not quite as bad, but still
Okay.
pretty breezy. As we can see on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at the airport, you can see Old Glory there really whipping in the wind as it is pretty windy out there. So we can see current winds right now, Augusta at 8 miles, Aiken at 16 miles per hour, and let's see, some little breezy conditions in Allendale, Thompson alike, so still pretty steady out there. So what was the highest wind speed in the last 24 hours? Well, we made it up to 26 miles per hour here in Augusta, 25 in Barnwell, 24 in Allendale. So yesterday was certainly a very windy day. So we do still have a lake wind advisory in effect just for a little bit longer. That will expire at 8 o'clock this morning for the counties here in Gold. That might be extended though because it's still pretty windy out there, so we shall see. But anyways, yeah, hold on to your hat as it's going to be breezy this afternoon. Satellite radar though, not a whole lot to see there, just a few wispy clouds as we are looking much better out there. Temperature wise, a little bit cooler in the lower 40s for us this morning. So if you're getting ready, it's Palm Sunday, and if you're going to worship services this morning, might want to grab that jacket as we are in the 30s to 40s this morning, and even with the sunshine, we'll warm up nicely into the 50s by lunchtime. So it's going to be a beautiful, sunny, breezy day. But could we see some frost tomorrow? I'll have all the details for you coming up in your full forecast. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Sherry, thank you. Evans native and filmmaker Cameron Waters premiered his documentary film, Christspiracy, along with his co-director recently. News Channel 6's photojournalist Reginald Mackey captured the excitement at the premiere after party.
I worked at a barbecue restaurant when I was a kid. I'm the least likely candidate to be doing this, but if you just have the will to just ask the question, that's all we're asking with this film, is just ask yourself the questions. Is there a spiritual way to kill an animal? I'll put it this way, how would Jesus kill an animal?
And a lot of us are kind of distanced from that because we just go to the grocery store and buy meat in the grocery store, and we never ever have to interact with the animal. But the film really puts it into perspective that someone is doing the slaughtering of these animals.
Is there a peaceful way to kill an animal? If Jesus was here and he saw that 90 billion land animals are killed every year for food and 99% of them are in factory farms, it might raise an eyebrow. So I really wanted to know, what would Jesus do about this?
It's a great movie. Regardless of your spiritual belief, they touch not just Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism. You should watch it because it gives help brightening your perspective. Regardless if you go away from it, loving animals more or less, I think it's good for everyone to be exposed to and open that question.
This is just trying to call me forward towards asking deeper questions about how we treat God's creatures on planet Earth.
Danger making a film like this?
Yeah, you just wait and see. You just wait and see.
And if you would like to see the film, you can visit Christspiracy.com. Learning about dementia and Alzheimer's. More on an event? Let's head into Greater Young Zion Baptist Church. Details next.
Black excellence. Its importance goes beyond just a single month each year. That's why News Channel 6 proudly presents Celebrating Black Excellence 365. Each month we'll highlight an individual or organization who inspires their community and improves the lives of people around them. If you know a deserving recipient, visit WJBF.com and fill out the nomination form. Celebrating Black Excellence 365, only on News Channel 6.
Dr. Chandra R.
Concerned about dementia or Alzheimer's for yourself or a loved one? Well, there's a community program that's happening in April. The pastor of Greater Young Zion Baptist Church, William Bout Sr., the Community Resources Director, Barbara Hampton, and the Augusta Development Manager with the Alzheimer's Association, Kelly Brookins, recently joined us to share more on what you can expect.
We are hosting this event in partnership with the National Alzheimer's Association, and it will be as part of a series of educational interventions that we will be providing to the entire CSRA.
Yes, ma'am.
It's open to everyone to come, and we will begin by giving you some of the most important points about dementia and the difference between. It's going to be held at our church, which is 405 Sandbar Ferry Road in Augusta 30901. It is an ongoing effort by Greater Young Zion to present to our community a holistic wellness plan. We are concerned about their spiritual growth,
Yes, ma'am.
their physical growth, their mental growth.
I think she said it right. Part of our tunnel vision in terms of holistic ministry and, kind of making the church relevant to where people are and the needs that people have, and then connecting them with the resources that are available to be able to do that. So our community resource director, that's her job. To establish partnerships with the resources that we have in our community and integrate a marriage between the faith community and the rest of the resource community and connecting everybody together so that we work as partnership with each other to meet the needs of the community.
I like it. And Kelly, I want to bring you in. Tell us a little bit about the mission of your organization.
Absolutely. So at the Alzheimer's Association, our mission is to end dementia, Alzheimer's and dementia by advancing public policy, funding research, promoting awareness, and providing care and support for those living with the disease as well as their caregivers.
Yeah. And you have some fresh stats, fresh off the press.
We
Tell
do,
us a little bit
yes.
about that.
So we have our 2024 stats. So each year the association comes out with their updated numbers. And last year we were a little over 6 million people that were living with Alzheimer's disease in the United States. Now it is 7 million people living with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's kills more people than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined.
Wow.
Which I think is a very powerful statistic that most people don't realize. And the reason for that, one of the reasons, is because we do not have a cure for Alzheimer's. Until recently, we didn't even really have treatments that helped, improve, decrease cognitive decline. And another thing we really focus on at the association that I think is important is caregivers. So there are over 11 million Americans that provide unpaid care to their loved ones with dementia, and that is provided more than 18 billion hours, so 18 billion hours, and that is valued at nearly $347 billion.
What's the difference between normal aging and dementia?
That's a great question. We're going to be going through the 10 warning signs, and it's really what's the difference between normal aging and then someone that may have Alzheimer's or dementia. And the big thing is that it's memory issues and cognitive issues that disrupt everyday life. So for example, we all kind of forget where our keys are. I lost my phone yesterday. Those things that we always do. But someone that cannot remember how to get home in their car, someone that can't remember how to cook their favorite meal, that is something other than just aging.
Yeah. And Pastor, how will you take the information that the church as well as the community learn to be able to kind of push that throughout the community?
Well, one thing about this is not a one-time thing. We're hoping for ongoing education that we're going to be able to do. We're hoping that this will generate the kind of interest in our congregation to deal with some of the relevancy of people that are going with it, just don't know what to do, don't have the resources to do. So we're hoping to have a long partnership with the Alzheimer's Association because it is a very, very, very real problem in our community, especially. So yeah.
And I love that we're doing it at a church. One of the things is still a lot of stigma around Alzheimer's and dementia, and people don't know what to do, and they may be nervous to ask for help. But when we have programs like this at wonderful churches, it makes a big difference. People feel comfortable. People want to ask questions and get those resources.
And that event is Saturday, April 6th from 9 until 12 over at Greater Young Zion Baptist Church. The full conversation, including how to register and other great events happening at the Alzheimer's Association, is on WJBF.com. Sherry has a check of the full forecast coming up in less than 3 minutes.
The Live 5 for 6 mobile app. Download it today.
It's time to be
So call advanced $36 a day. Sleep comfortable at night. It's so hard to predict a sick kid who just keep getting sicker. But we needed to be together as a family. My family is my entire life. My family means the world to me.
When we're together and we have support from Ronald McDonald House, we can be a little stronger. They provide food and a place to rest your head, and they will help you through every step. That's what gets you through every day when you don't know how else you're going to make it.
It makes you feel like you're not alone.
Over the years, thousands of people have gotten their hands on one. And who knows, you could be next. Win your very own Good Morning Augusta coffee mug at WJBF.com/coffee club. Sponsored by Honda Cars of Aiken. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
There we go. We've got the sunrise coming up on the horizon on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam outside of Television Park. So we've got mostly clear conditions that are going to allow for us to soak up lots of sunshine for today. Temperatures, though, on the cooler side at 43 degrees here in Augusta, and winds still a bit breezy at 8 miles per hour, but no issues there with visibility for us, and humidity not too shabby either. And that's because we look at our water vapor loop, we currently have lots of dry air overhead. So all these oranges here, that is dry air compared to the moist air that is now off the coast that we experienced yesterday. So as promised, much drier and cooler air building in there for us for this Sunday. As we move forward, looking at the rain chances, so looking good. We're going to dry out for the next 2 days before you'll need to grab that umbrella again late Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday. But right now, it's looking like we might finally have a dry weekend. So Easter weekend is shaping up to be pretty good as of right now, but of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on that. So looking back at yesterday, we did hit a high temperature of 70 degrees, which is below average, lows in the 50s. And here in Augusta, picked up 0.05 of an inch of rain. Other places up to about 1/10, so not too much rain yesterday. We did get a little cloud cover, and a few places did get some sunshine, but today is going to look much better, just like our farmers forecast, looking great there. No issues with drought throughout the CSRA. Sunrise time at 7:44 this morning, and no chance of rain for today, but the winds could be breezy at times. So let's check out that futurecast. I've got the temperatures overlay here, as well as the cloud cover. As you can see right now, just a few wispy clouds to our south. Temperatures in those 30s and 40s. As we advance through the day, you can see those clouds clear out and leaving way for lots of sunshine, and temperatures to warm up into those upper 50s, lower 60s, some of us making it into those mid 60s. But then as we go into the overnight hours, notice the cloud cover does increase a little bit, but despite that, temperatures are still going to drop because those clouds are going to be light in nature. So we've got 30s on the board there. So waking up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, not looking at anything around freezing, but of course 30s are definitely a shock to the system, and want to make sure you're bundled up. And in our northern line counties, could have a risk of seeing some of those lower 30s creep in there, so could see some patchy frost in the morning, so that's something to think about. And then Monday, you can see those clouds continue to build in and increase, so looking at a partly cloudy day for your Monday, but temperatures still making it into those mid to upper 60s, and then cloud cover continues to increase throughout the night Monday and into Tuesday, when our next chance of rain comes in Tuesday night. So here's looking at the temperatures for tonight into tomorrow morning. So still not too shabby, but do have that chance of seeing some frost right there at sunrise time with temperatures in those mid-30s. So for today, though, a great day. I'm going to call it a birdie of a day because it will be a little bit breezy. I'm going to say that's going to hold us back from that hole-in-one. But other than that, looking great with lots of sunshine and warming up into those 60s this afternoon. So certainly a great day to be outside, even if there is a little bit of pollen out there. But looking great with lots of sunshine, just a little breezy. Temperatures in the mid-60s for today, then climbing into the upper 60s tomorrow with the increase of cloud cover, and then going to need the umbrella again starting Tuesday afternoon.
All right, got it, Sherry. Thank you. Another TikTok trend, this time involving couples and paint. What's trending is next.
There's a lot to this.
Visit Master Buick GMC.
Being the Augusta guy means that you're getting myself and my staff, which was raised on the same values that fellow Augustans were raised on. All of us grew up here. If you are hiring somebody from out of town, they may not be as connected as us. I guarantee you that we are going to work extremely hard for you. You're getting somebody who's going to shoot you straight and tell you the pros and cons of your case, and also take the case as far as it needs to go to get what people deserve.
I'm Leanna.
This is my new home. After running through college, buying a home was the right option for me. Security Federal made it so easy. They handled everything on the financing side. I had all the time I needed to just focus on buying the house, finding the house. Buying a home has always been a goal of mine, and I'm really thankful to Security Federal for making that possible.
Do you have abandoned vehicles cluttering your towing today?
Hey y'all, welcome back. Time to take a look at what's trending. So apparently listening to certain music can make you a better driver. A new study by Auto Trader tested drivers while playing 20 musicians like Drake, Ariana Grande, Eminem, and more. Researchers then looked at how quickly they were able to identify and react to hazards on the road. They found that by listening to Drake, those drivers scored the best, followed by Eminem, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, and BTS. And for drivers most likely to fail the test, they were listening to Megan Thee Stallion or a classical composer.
What a difference.
Right. Much difference, yeah.
That's interesting. I would definitely say the music affects it. I know when I'm listening to a good tune, my foot tends to get a little heavier. Interesting. Have to check that out.
Is it Bach? Do you listen to Bach?
I do not listen to Bach. And obviously I don't need to because it makes you a worse driver, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't listen to Drake, so I guess that's good. And there's a new TikTok trend where couples are painting their partners and then revealing their work. Here's some of the results.
It's not bad. I'm not even look at it yet. I'm a little scared.
The dress. Okay.
That's awesome. I'm so ashamed.
So, Sherry, looks like the women are better painters than men.
I don't know. If I tried this, I think I might be the one that produces a disaster. My husband is much more artistic than I am, but I might have to try that next date night idea. See what we'll come up with.
It's something different, and it's inexpensive, too.
Yeah.
And you have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. Well, coming up on Good Morning Augusta, former President Trump tries to raise almost $500 million before Monday. A look at what happens if he doesn't come up with it. That's coming up. But first, let's send to New York, where Whit Johnson is standing by with a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Good morning, Whit.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, overseas, new details emerging in that deadly concert hall terror attack outside Moscow, with 4 suspected gunmen arrested. The rising toll and reaction from Russian President Vladimir Putin. Plus, the deadline is tomorrow for former President Donald Trump's nearly $500 million bond in his civil fraud case. What's at stake and what could happen if he fails to pay it in time? And the eclipse effect, the overnight lunar eclipse, building excitement for that rare solar eclipse across the U.S. in April. And could it boost the economy? That's all coming up right here on GMA.
See thousands of the hunt. Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
It's 7:32. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. With a Monday deadline looming to post that $464 million bond in his New York civil fraud case, Donald Trump now contradicting his own lawyers. Aaron Katersky reports.
All week, his lawyers have insisted Donald Trump lacks the cash he needs to secure a bond to cover a nearly $500 million civil fraud judgment. Tonight, Trump is claiming he does. He just wants to spend it elsewhere. I currently have almost $500 million in cash, Trump wrote on social media, a substantial amount of which I intended to use in my campaign. But Trump hasn't offered any proof he actually has $500 million in cash, and Trump hasn't put any of his own money into his campaign since 2016. The former president has until Monday to post a bond, or New York Attorney General Letitia James told us she'll take action.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
But tonight, a potentially new source of income for Trump. Investors voting today to take Trump's struggling social media company public. His stake on paper, roughly $3 billion. That may sound like a windfall, but unless Trump gets special permission from the company, he cannot convert that stake into cash for 6 months. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Sherry is back with another check of the forecast. That's a great shot behind you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to see the sunrise this morning, and we're going to get to see plenty of sunshine today. So yeah, admire that shot for a few seconds there in Swainsboro on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. Certainly a beautiful shot as the sun's coming up over the horizon. So satellite and radar, not a whole lot to see here, just a few wispy clouds, but overall we've got the all clear to make way for that sunshine today. Temperature-wise, a little chilly out there, 43 degrees here in Augusta, 45 in Swainsboro, 36 up in Saluda. So definitely going to need a jacket if heading out this morning. And those winds are still kicking pretty good, down to 8 miles here in Augusta, 10 in Barnwell, 15 in Aiken. So the breezy conditions continue for today. In fact, we are under a lake wind advisory until 8 o'clock, so just a little bit longer for the counties here in Gold. That could be extended, though, because those breezy conditions will continue over the next several hours. So planning out your day for today, look at all that sunshine throughout the next several hours. Clear skies, but the winds are between 10 and 15 miles per hour and warming up into those mid-60s later on this afternoon. So it's going to be a nice sunny and breezy Sunday, but could we see some frost tomorrow? And what about the week ahead? I'll have all the details for you coming up in your full forecast. Sean?
All right, Sherry, thank you. The great outdoors are becoming not your typical lawnmower repair business. How one man is overcoming physical obstacles. Details next.
The live.
An Illinois man never lets his blindness stop him from seeing his dreams of having a family and a successful business becomes a reality. Here's Laura Simon.
These lawnmowers are new. This is a front-wheel drive self-propel.
Ted Atwell cannot see the machines he works on, but he feels their parts and listens to their sound.
It's hard to believe, but to someone like me who has done it all his life, it's normal.
Ted was born blind.
And I have two sisters that is also blind. And to be honest with you, other kids kind of shied away from us.
But having scarred retinas never scarred Ted's attitude or spirit. He credits that on his upbringing.
I remember as a young kid, my mother would dress us up a certain way. Well, I wanted to wear leather coats. I wanted to wear boots. I didn't want to wear what my mother gave me. And my father said, hey, you want those, you need to learn how to make money.
So Ted learned how to work on lawnmowers at a young age.
Well, I worked with my hands very good. I was not really the type of person that liked school. I made it through school, but I really did like it. I don't know why, but I did like it.
He did like biking and skateboarding as a kid and being active, but a stroke in 2019 put him in a wheelchair. He says he can't use his right arm or walk well, so these days he can't do everything on his own.
I have these people who help me, and I'm very grateful for that, because I wouldn't be doing lawnmowers if I didn't have these people.
Why is it so important for you to work?
The main thing is I can sit back and collect disability. I already collect disability. I'm on disability right now. But I'm a provider. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have anything.
Ted has a girlfriend of 23 years. He also has a daughter and 3 sons. He's always had a passion for repairing lawnmowers, but at one point in time, he even owned a restaurant and a bait shop.
The business is always good because I always treat everybody, I treat them good. They take their lawnmower, it does what it's supposed to do. And people come back. I enjoy life, I enjoy people.
Reporting in St. Charles, Laura Simon,
Can you really count on your... The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Here's another beautiful shot of the sunrise on this Sunday morning on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam at the Augusta Marriott. So definitely a beautiful sight to take in this morning, especially after the gloomy skies we experienced yesterday. But the temperatures, they were on the cooler side, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday at only 43 degrees here in Augusta. But the winds are still sticking around, coming from the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour, and no issues with visibility, and humidity not too shabby either. And that's because we have much drier air that's building in. So notice all these orange colors here, that is dry air compared to the greens with the warm, moist air that came through yesterday. So as we put that in play and zoom in, you can tell that the dry air is definitely taking over, and we will get to enjoy that today. So speaking of the dry air, we will dry out for the next couple of days. You can put that umbrella away until Tuesday afternoon when our next rain chance moves into the forecast, and our best chance of rain coming in on Wednesday before tapering off on Thursday. And looks like we're going to have a nice Easter weekend with some dry conditions. But the one thing that's not going anywhere is those winds. Certainly it was a windy day yesterday, and those breezy conditions will continue for your Sunday, looking at wind gusts up to 18 miles per hour, 16 on Wednesday, and then picking up again into the 20s by Tuesday. So definitely feeling those March winds out there. Another thing that's not really going anywhere is the pollen. Our allergy forecast, it was on the low side yesterday, though I personally could not tell a difference as I was still sneezing like crazy. But they still have high levels for your Sunday, Monday, and I guess we can call it medium levels moving into Tuesday and Wednesday. But certainly want to keep those Kleenexes and allergy medicines handy. So let's look at our future cast though to see what you can expect for the next 48 hours. So on the cool side this morning with just a few wispy clouds in there, but then those clouds push away, and for the rest of the day we're looking at nothing but sunshine. We've got all clear skies and temperatures that will make it into those 60s for us. Some places might be a little cooler in those upper 50s, but certainly will feel good. So you can see those clouds moving in overnight. They will be light in nature, so not much in regards of cloud cover to keep us insulated. So temperatures will drop into those 30s. However, we will be above freezing, so nothing to worry about there. But if we do get into those mid-30s, might be looking at some frost there, so something to keep in mind. And then for your Monday, the clouds will continue to increase, but we'll still see temperatures in those mid to upper 60s. And then cloud cover certainly starts to build in on Tuesday before the rain returns to the forecast Tuesday afternoon. So speaking of those temperatures overnight tonight, we will start off in the 50s and then drop into the 30s. So by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it will be pretty cold out there. Again, not expecting a freeze, but could be a little frosty, especially for our northern lying counties, and certainly want to bundle up as you head out tomorrow morning for work. But for your Sunday, I'm going to call it a birdie of a day. It will be a bit breezy. I'm going to say that's going to hold us back from the hole-in-one, but otherwise certainly a beautiful day with lots of sunshine and temperatures into those mid-60s later on this afternoon. So your 10-day forecast looking good for your Sunday with lots of sunshine, just a little breezy throughout the afternoon hours. Then we'll start off on the cold side on Monday, and clouds will continue to increase before rain returns to the forecast late in the day on Tuesday. That's your forecast, and we'll be right back.
The CSRA's at 10 a.m. Eastern on News Nation. WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
It was a very exciting day over at Sage Valley as 60 of the top boys and girls in the country participated in the 2024 Junior Invitational. On the boys' side, Giovanni Daniele Benaghi earned an incredible comeback win after shooting 8 under in the final round. The Italy native finished the tournament at 11 under, 2 strokes ahead of Lewis Klein, and 3 strokes ahead of the previous leader, New Zealand's Joshua Bai. He said he felt very confident heading into the final round because he knew exactly what it would take to become the tournament champion.
I don't know. I knew that I had to shot like at least 5 under to win this tournament. I made 8, so that's not a problem. It's a little bit better. My game was under control. The tee shot, the second shot, the putter, the chipping, so everything was good. So I knew what I was doing.
Yes, he did. A great win for him on the boys' side. And then on the girls' side, Asterisk Tally went wire to wire to get the win. She's the first girl to do so. And in addition, she set a new record low for the girls at 9 under par. With 4 birdies and an eagle to close out the front 9 in the final round, Asterisk knew she had it in the bag. And she says focusing on keeping her composure through the back 9 is what earned her the victory.
I'm happy to be here again doing this interview because, I just played 3 days of great golf, and I think I deserve for what work I put in before this week and during the week. It feels awesome. Coming into today, I was just like, I think 3 under will be a good score, and then I shot 5, and I was 5 under after the front 9, and I was like, this is really good, but I didn't want to get nervous and anxious, and I was just playing steady golf after that, and it ended up working out really well.
Next up for Asterisk is the Augusta National Women's Amateur at Champions Retreat. A huge congrats to both winners of the 2024 Junior Invitational at Sage Valley. The South Carolina Gamecocks have their full roster back in action as they gear up for their second round matchup against UNC. Camila Cardoso is one of the starters who missed Friday's game, but she says she's excited to get back onto the floor, highlighting exactly what the Gamecocks have to do to get a win over the Tar Heels on Sunday.
It was really physical. I think they hit us first, and now we just more aware of how they're going to play. They are a physical team. They got some great talents, and we just know, we got to be physical without fouling and just, stay composed and just do the little details right.
Tip-off between North and South Carolina is at 1 p.m. Over at Harlem High School, it was a very special night as plaques celebrating the 1974, 1978, 1979, 1981, 82, 83, and 86 baseball teams, as well as last year's 2023 state champions, were unveiled. Head coach Jimmy Lewis spoke to the crowds about each team, almost all of which he coached, and friends and family got to honor some Harlem athletes. Head coach Jimmy Lewis says this was long overdue.
This is it's like a dream come true. It's been long overdue. We should have had them plaques up long for now, but we got everybody here, and to see some of the guys coming from Maryland and North Carolina and all, I hadn't seen them in 40-something years. It's just a great reunion to see them all. They were all great ball players in the day now, and they did real well when they played. They've done real well in life, and it's just good to see them, being successful in life.
It's good to catch up with old classmates and old teammates, and it's just an overwhelming feeling to see the successes of all the Harlem players, and we're just so proud of them. Coach Lewis is a fire plug. I hear him say all the time he might retire, and then he comes back and says, no, I'm just going to die on third base. That's our plan, for him to die on third base, and we'll just dig it up and put him at third base.
Such a fun group. The mayor was there. She used to keep score for the team. All around an incredible event honoring some incredible athletes. Finally, the Atlanta Hawks hosted the Hornets as they look to get back into the win column. Game tied at 26. Trent Forrest with the steal in the lane to put Atlanta ahead as they close out the first frame. Then in the second, Bogey finds Dylan Windler. He'll step back for the 3. Hawks up by 18 at the half. Fourth quarter, Hawks extend that lead to 25. Bogdanovich finds Bruno Fernando for the monster slam. Man, put that on a poster. That dunk matches his career high, but he'd go on to have 25 on the night, a huge one for him. Hawks lead by almost 40, and that's game. Atlanta wins 132-91. And that does it for morning sports.
Red or Red Lines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys. The live 5 for 6 mobile app. Download it today.
Medical Associates Plus has you covered.
And time for a check of the final forecast, Sherry.
Yeah, so yesterday was foggy and soggy. Today is breezy and easy. So get out there and have some fun in the sun, and temperatures in the mid-60s before clouds increase on Monday and rain returns Tuesday afternoon.
And thank you for joining the cool kids on your favorite weekend morning news. We're back next weekend. Have a great week, and I love you, Mama.